So as you guys know, Hillary Clinton had made a comment saying she's ready to come out of the woods, kind of alluding to her little, I know it was a fake picture of her supposedly accidentally running into someone, which I highly doubt was genuine and real and not fake. But Bill O'Reilly has gone after her comments, and it's really tough to say this, man, but most of what O'Reilly says here I agree with, and I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. So here's what they say. Bill O'Reilly called in a Fox and Friends weekend to react to Hillary Clinton's reemergence in the public sphere and dished on who he thought might be the next Democratic presidential candidates to follow in her footsteps. Speaking at a St. Patrick's Day event in Scranton, Pennsylvania, her father's hometown, Clinton said that Americans cannot allow personal divides to become political divides. We've got to keep trying to listen to each other, Clinton said. O'Reilly slammed the remarks, calling Clinton the most divisive woman in the country. She says she wants to listen to each other. When she did no media and was imperious, O'Reilly said, she was the worst candidate ever seen in my entire life covering news for more than 40 years. So I think Sanders supporters and Republicans or anybody in general can agree with that statement. She was indeed, and I think the facts show it, right? Other than you can make the argument that, the Electoral College and whatnot, but under the same rules everyone has gone after, under that measure, she was indeed one of the worst candidates, if not the worst candidate, because there's nobody I've ever seen where they've had 90% predictions to win, and yet they lose to candidates with one of the worst disapproval ratings in history for any presidential candidate. So absolutely that's true. And it's sad because if Bernie Sanders had been the candidate, he would have won. I guarantee it, absolutely. He said he hopes Clinton will focus on rebooting her foundation in order to do constructive work around the world instead of electoral politics. So this is funny. So the Clinton Global Initiative is drying up because nobody is donating. Because nobody in their family has any electoral power. That's why the countries don't donate anymore. Because they don't get any power, any, pay-to-play return. He says, this is a bunch of garbage, and this is not a woman who wanted to ever bring anybody together in her entire life. She's ruthless. She wanted to be president, and she's teed off. She's not. Yeah, that's kind of true, to be honest. She felt very entitled to her votes, and she felt like somehow this public service position was entitled to her, that she deserved it, even though she's a public servant. She's supposed to serve the people, not the other way around. So the whole flip of the thing really fucked her over, and her doing things like not even stepping foot in Wisconsin to campaign, and not making promises, and not having policy positions other than platitudes like stronger together and all this garbage. Yeah, that's partly why Trump won, was because he did have certain policy positions that won over people. Like we saw at the Bernie Sanders town hall, people were talking about how they legitimately thought that Trump was going to give them single-payer health care because that's what they needed, was health care, Medicare expansion. So she didn't do shit. She didn't say anything about that. She just gave platitudes and said, just vote for me because this guy's exponentially worse. How did that work for you? It didn't. So step out of the way, stay in the woods. We don't want you coming back. I think we're fine with our progressivism. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.